Hey everybody, Jeff Schneider here. I was thinking what the world really needs right now is a jazz fusion version of Puff the Magic Dragon. So I did it. But before I play it for you, a quick reminder that the Sick Chords bonus bundle is expiring tomorrow. That's Friday, September 24th. If you want to learn how to play hip jazz chords on the piano, I'm talking about the chords you hear on neo soul records and gospel records and R&B records and of course jazz records. If you want to learn how to play those kinds of voicings without having to learn a ton of music theory, this is for you. All right, let's listen to what could be my finest achievement. Oh, quick shout out to Lucas Apostolaris on the drums. Thanks so much, Lucas, for making this sound way better than it would have otherwise. So here we go. So there you go. Let's break down some of the chords and the reharm techniques that I use to get this sound. So a lot of information right up front. And the first chord that I play actually is not on this chart because it's just the intro. And it's basically a C sus going to a C major. And I play it with this figure. That's the intro figure that I come back to a couple times. It's just C sus going to C major. But when you come into the melody here, by the way, the chords are in red. The melody is in black. We come in with an A minor 7 chord. Basic A minor. We're in the key of C we're in the key of C major, by the way. So A minor is the 6th chord in the key of C major. But then we depart and we go to a completely random key, random chord, F sharp minor 11. We're using my favorite minor 11 voicing because it's so easy to play and it sounds so good. It's just stacked thirds. You've heard me say it before. And the cool thing about this is F sharp minor 11 doesn't have anything to do with the key of C major. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. Voicings trump theory and functional harmony. You don't have to know any functional harmony to get from A minor to F sharp minor 11. The reason this chord works is because the voicing works. So what did I do? I used the formula, my secret formula, which is not so secret anymore because I posted about it a couple videos ago. But basically what it is, just as a recap, is you take the melody note, in this case it's a B, and you ask yourself, okay, if B is, make up a chord tone, the 11, which is what we have here. If B is the 11, what chord could this be? And in this case, it's F sharp minor 11. That's the way I figured this out. I didn't use any functional harmony. And then I used the same voicing going down a major third to D minor 11. And that voicing sounds great no matter where you play it. You can move it all over the place. It still sounds good. So now E flat 13 with the flat 5. By the way, this is E flat, where are we? Here we go. Is this all working? Everything's working here. So E flat 13 with a flat 5. This is not E flat 13 flat 5. It's E flat with a 13 and a flat 5. Does that make sense? This chord has nothing to do with the key of C major. Again, it doesn't make any sense, but it works because the voicing sounds good. I'm talking about voicings all this week because I'm promoting Sick Chords bonus bundle. Because it really is like the secret sauce to getting this kind of sound. So one more quick mention, check out the Sick Chords bonus bundle after you're done watching this little tutorial here. E flat 13 with a flat 5. C major 7 over E. Pretty cool. Well, why does that sound good? Well, C major 7, we're back to the 1 chord. We're in the key of C, we're back to the 1 here. So that does sound good, but there's something else going on here. And I'm doing a chromatically ascending bass line. D, E flat to, there's the E in the bottom there. This is, if you remember the waterfall bass line technique I talked about a couple of videos ago, where we descend chromatically in the bass. Well, now we're doing like a reverse waterfall. We're coming up chromatically, and that smooth bass line is going to help pull off this somewhat disjunct chord progression. So D to E flat to E. Again, this voicing for C major 7. It's a really nice voicing for C major 7. Same notes that you could play for a regular old C major 7 in root position, closed position, which sounds totally boring. But if you rearrange those notes, it sounds great. So, voicings matter. That is the big takeaway for this whole week. All these videos that I've been making. It's all about voicings. Learn good voicings, okay? Get stick chords. It's gonna help. Going on, F, add 9 over A. It's actually a very similar chord to this because we have the third in the bass. F is the 4 chord in the key of C, so this chord makes some sense functionally. Let's take it from the top though, just to kind of build some context here. Okay, so there's the F add 9 over A. Now on to E7 flat 9 over G sharp. This chord is actually a lot like a G sharp diminished 7th chord. You could probably call it that too. They're somewhat interchangeable, but I'm doing another descending bass line here. Waterfall bass. A, G sharp, G, F sharp. Sounds like this. I'm not even playing a chord on this one. I'm just playing the G in the bass. You could play G minor if you wanted. That could sound good. That sounds nice. And then F sharp half diminished right here. Basic voicing. Just the regular chord tones. Going on to the second ending. Okay, so F add 9. Basic 4 chord. Nothing too fancy there. Then we go to the 5. You know, I like to kind of mix together these non-functional chord progressions with chord progressions that are pretty basic, like a 4-5-1. That's or even just going 4-5 is really, really common in any key or in any chord progression. So it's a nice balance of sort of oddball chord progressions with more traditional. And I think that's helpful to kind of create that contrast. So we have F add 9. And then G sus, the holiest of all chords, going to regular G. Back to the beginning. Now I'm not going to play it all through again. I'm going to jump. Let's jump here to the F add 9 over A, and then we'll take the second ending. So, and then second ending, back to F. And then we resolve to that C add 9 over E. We played that chord before. It's in a little bit of a different context now. But what's going on here? F major, G major, A major, B major, whole steps. Going up in whole steps, same voicing. It's a really cool way to modulate. And we end on C over E. So we're actually modulating to G major. Although this chord has sort of a minor sound to it too. You could actually call this like an E minor 7 with the flat 13. I'd be okay with that. But this is just a modulation. So now we're in G, and we play the same melody in G with almost the same chords. See, we go, here's the C sharp minor 11 going down the major third to A minor 11. It's the same thing that we did in the beginning, although this time I'm not going to play this voicing right here. I want it to be a bigger sound. So I'm going to spread out the left hand, which is that's a pretty big spread there for the left hand, but if you can pull it off, go for it. And in the right hand, you could play G sharp, B, D sharp, and F sharp. You could also play the F sharp in the bottom too. You could do G sharp or F sharp. And then you're going to take it down to A minor 11. And then the same thing as we did before, going up that half step. And then G add 9 over B. I do that little run there. C add 9 over E. This is the same thing as before, just transposed into the key of G. Now this one's a little different from what we had before. If you remember in this version, we went to a half diminished chord. Now we're doing something a little different, E flat over D flat. And here's our 4-5-1. And I go back to that phrase that I started this whole thing with. I did it in C in the intro. And now I'm doing it here in G. Okay? DCL Coda, that means you go back to the beginning. And then you go to the Coda. So this is where things get really funky. So we're gonna jump all the way to the Coda over here. And F add 9 over A. Again, I love putting the third in the bass. It's just a great sound, especially when you add that 9. Then we're on C major. F add 9, not over A. Do you hear the difference though? When we have that F add 9 over A right here, compared to this F add 9, that A in the bottom it gives it a floaty quality. So it's got a nice contrast to when we hit it for real at the end of that phrase. It has more weight to it when we have the F in the bottom. It's a really nice contrast. More of an emotional impact. It feels like we've arrived when we play it with the root in the bass there. This is a walk-up. And we're diatonic here. It's a 4 chord. It's basically 4-5-1. And then while this chord is holding, I play a little fill. I do something like, I'll do that a little slower. So. So there's a double in there, sort of like a dugga. And then the second time through, I do another fill. What do I do there? Yeah. So that's harmonized in fourths. And then I play this lick. That's, whoops. Grace note to the A, back to the G. Grace note from the D to the E. Grace note from the E flat to the D. Finally resting on the C. A lot of grace notes. Okay. And then, now we're on this D minor 7. We're walking down D, C, just to give you a preview, we got D, then C, then B, B flat, A, going down, down, down. A over B, B flat 13, flat 9. Let me do that walk down again. From the D minor 7, right over here. Okay, check it out. Okay, here's our 4-5 theme that we've done a few times. And then we do a head fake, a curveball. We go D to E. It's the same figure. I guess it's just a minor third down. And then at the very end, we go back to F. Wait, what do I do? Again with the grace notes. A double grace note. The D to the E, and then the E flat down to the D. So yeah, the double grace note, super hip. And then we end the way we started. So we have the C sus to the C major. And there it is. That's the whole arrangement. Thanks again to Lucas for playing drums on this. Check out his stuff linked below in the description. And guys, Sick Chords bonus bundle. this is the time. This is the final stretch. If you want to get this crazy deal and learn good quality voicings to transform your music, this is the time to do it. Check it out. Link is somewhere on the screen and in the description below. Thanks for watching. If you want me to do more reharmonizations like this and other styles maybe, let me know. Suggestions are always welcome. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.